Okay, this is not going to be a very long clip that I'm going to show you, but I got a lot of things I want to say. First off, the core. The core of evil that runs our world. The core of NWO. The core of what the truthers want to discuss when it comes to false flags and the wars, and whether you're talking the political end and the election, whether you're talking the wars that we're in, whether you're talking anything, laws, NWO. The core of all evil, okay, when it comes to NWO, the core has always been divide and conquer and the division of the genders. That is really the core. Because the NWO, through wants population reduction, is nothing but a death cult. Mark Passfield says it right. Nothing but a death cult. Okay, and that's really what it is. And they want population reductions. They place the Georgia Guidestones up for everybody to see, to everybody to read, to everybody understand that they plan on killing millions and millions of people. This is what we've done all along. We go to war, we call our militaries defending our country, our freedom, which is nothing but a mirage, an illusion, a hologram. Your military are nothing but a bunch of young people out of high school that have been dumbed down, was put in boot camp to be brainwashed and turned into perfect little slaves, order followers. And they follow the orders believing they're defending their country, when in reality they ain't defending nothing but killing innocent people and helping these same sick psychopaths steal and maim and kill. Steal and maim and kill. And helping them with their population reduction. But long story short, I'm going to play this for you. And then I'm going to stop it for a second. Then I'm going to play the next clip for you. And then I'm going to tell you how this rolls into the dating scene. And it's this is so in your face. Okay, so the manosphere, TFL, men going their own way. That's right. Incel, forever alone, love shy. I've already said before, I don't care what name you want to give it. The division of the genders, the destruction of your society, the true pain, okay? The real suffering that goes on that nobody cares about as long as they're not the one suffering. But listen, let me show you this because this is very short. And I choose to say, all she did. Yep. All she done. Now you're going to say, what do you mean, all she done? This is definitely 100% dating scene topic. This is 100% in your face social engineering programming that helps to engineer the mindset of the female gender. This is directed at the female gender. Okay? So I want to do this first before I move on. So listen up. It's very short, but I think if you pay attention, you're going to get it.
Tell me he's dead.
No, look, he's very much alive.
Then what do you want?
I'm calling you because he keeps telling us that he's coming to Florida to live with you.
Florida?
Yeah.
I live in Maine, as far away as I can get. If my father were to ever show up on my doorstep, I'd kill him.
Okay, why is he telling us
Because he's a pathological liar and a monster. He murdered my mother and fixed it to look like suicide. All she did was threaten to file for a divorce and take away his house. It's all about his house. If you're in his way, your life is in danger. Please don't call him again.
Okay. There you go. All she did was threatened to divorce him and steal from him. Okay, now you're going to say what's the big deal here? Well, the big deal is that is social engineering right in your face. This sets the mindset that she's done nothing wrong. Because all she didn't deserve to die for this. Well, I've said it for years now. You people know how to create your very own killer. You're going to say, well, yeah, but all she did was she's threatening to divorce him. If she did, she'd take his house, but it's not worth all that. Well, let me see. If you was married to somebody and you worked your tail off, and you invested 40 years of hard labor into building, putting together your home with the person you love, and you spend 40 years making this estate, this house, and everything that you worked for, everything that you strive for with the person you loved, and you broke your ass for 40 years straight, and she just decides one day that, hell, I meant Tommy down at the bar, I meant Jim down at the bar, I meant whatever up at the mall, or on my job site where my husband was working, I meant so and so, and you decide one day, yep, I'm just going to get rid of him. I'm going to replace him because I like so and so better. So I'm going to divorce him, and I'm going to take his house from him and his belongings from him. I'm going to steal everything he worked 40 years for. That's right, right away from him. Because I already know no fault divorce is going to give it to me. I already know that I will leave him homeless. I will take everything he worked 40 years straight for away from him just like that. Because all I did was, because it's perfectly normal behavior, it's okay to do this to a man, because the man's not even a human being. They're just a man, just a guy. After all, women love women and men love women and everybody hates men. That's right. Women hate men and men hate men. So it's no big deal to steal his 40 years worth of work away from him, right? It's no big deal to rob him, to throw him on the street, to make him start all over after 40 years of work, so that you can have your own want because you are a female. Screw his want. Nobody cares about him. He's just a guy. Oh, who cares how he feels? Who cares how much we hurt him or destroy him or steal 40 years worth of wages, work, and labor away from him? Maybe the guy even built the house himself. That's right, built it himself. And she got to pick out what she wanted built, and he had to do all the labor and all the physical everything to build it for her. Okay? And he's put all this time and money and love into her. And she just replaces him just like that because she can. That's right. And because Hollywood promotes divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Create your own killer. So, and I've seen this throughout the years. I know a guy named Rick Timberland who was married for almost 30 years, 25, 30 years to the same gal. Had kids. She never worked. He worked and supported her. That's right. No lie. She never worked. He worked the entire time, supported her. Got the house, bought the cars, bought the everything, all the furniture. Give her every want. She found somebody new behind his back when he was working. She decided to replace him. She done this very thing that this gal just said. Yep, she decided to divorce him. She used the court system, no-fault divorce. She stole his house. She stole the car. She stole all the furniture, all the belongings. He only got to be homeless with the clothes on his back. Yep. And I've seen this happen uncountless times throughout society to men. To men by women. And here's Hollywood promoting it again in 2019. And see, you noticed how she acted like, well, he killed my mom. He made it look like she committed suicide. Yeah. If I seen my dad, I would kill him too. Because he killed my mom. Because all she did, do you follow what I'm saying? All she did don't mean nothing. So what if he worked 40 years for it all? So what if I didn't buy one penny of it? So what if I didn't work to build it? So what if he loved me and he done all this for me and he labored his ass off for 40 years straight? I can just steal that all away from him just like he never done it and not have the first care about what I'm doing to him. Because after all, it is all about me, right? It's about me, selfish me. Okay, now I'm done with my little rant. And that's why I showed you that clip. Because that's current, that's new. That's what Hollywood's putting in people's face right now. In 2019. The same thing that we've witnessed hundreds and hundreds of times going on. And you hear how she says, all she done. It's just no big deal. It's no big deal. But if you turn that around and the woman would have worked 40 years and the man would have done nothing and the woman would have been out there slaving her ass off or built the home and did all the physical work and worked and did everything and the man went and replaced her when her back was turned while she was doing the everything and used the court system to steal everything away from her, I think she'd be pretty mad. I think she'd be pretty upset. I think she might lose her mind and kill too. You know, because we look at the reality in society, we've actually had men who've lost their damn mind. And I don't promote the violence. But in situations like this, have literally lost their mind, lost control of themselves, went completely out of their head in one cycle because of being done this way by the female gender and killed her and killed the kids and killed themselves. When I said you know how to create your very own killers, I wasn't joking you. And Hollywood just taught you how to create your very own killer. So you go ahead and listen to that advice, ladies. You go right ahead and listen to that advice. And one day if you find yourself with your head taken off dead, it could be because you created your very own killer, because that's what Hollywood's teaching you. They're teaching you how to do wrong, how to harm others and not care. And have absolutely no care. Because that's what's missing from our society. Okay, is care. Okay, caring for others. Now let's go on with Mark Passo here, because this fits into everything I've said about the dating scene. Listen up.
Then you have people in the black ops, in the intelligence societies, in the military, in the police forces, in the political, arena, who orchestrate and conduct and then cover up what is known as false flag operations. I was in probably what is the most definitive documentary on what false flags are and how they have been used historically to precipitate political agendas that the population would not ordinarily go along with if not given a traumatic set of circumstances that they feel necessitates that political agenda, which is the Hegelian dialectic in action. Problem, reaction, solution, as David Icke refers to it. Creating a very traumatic problem so that you get an outcry from the public, do something about this, and then you come forward with your predetermined and pre-planned solution and try to implement it, which you know the public wouldn't have gone with unless they were severely traumatized in a mass ritual event, a mass death ritual event, which is the false flag event. Again, false flag doesn't mean it was a hoax or no one died. You could call that a hoax flag. Okay? Which is called no problem reaction solution. It means the thing you said happened didn't actually happen. That's how I like to delineate. Other researchers have their stance and they like to delineate in a different way. I like to distinguish by calling a false flag an event that actually happened, okay? And people died, okay? And then they use that for their political agenda, and I call it a no-problem reaction solution event. I call a hoax flag, which means the whole thing was a hoax. It didn't really happen, or they portrayed it as it happened, but no people really died, and they...
Yes. Okay, now I'm going to stop it right there, but I think you get the gist of it. How would that play into the dating scene, you'd say? You don't understand how that plays into the dating scene. Because understand this, the core, like the center of an apple, at the center of NWO was the dating scene, and you can say, no, it wasn't. I'm absolutely full of it. No, I'm not. You're absolutely sound asleep at the wheel if you believe that. The core of NWO has always been the dating scene, because this is the genders. This is where people meet, get together, appropriate, and create life. The very life they want to snuff out. That's right. Population reduction. Eugenics. Georgia Guidestone. They put it in your face. They've told you it for years and years and years. You know? And there's so many different examples I could give you from Planned Parenthood. Okay? With Margaret Sanger, however you say her name. I mean, the list of options or the list of things I can show you and tell you goes on and on. But the core of NWO, the core of this eugenics death society that's being pushed by these people that are running our world isn't just the wars, never has been. The war is just another instrument of the same thing, death. Okay? Killing people, which they love to do. But the core has always been the genders. The war on the genders. To divide and conquer the genders. Because the dating scene, the genders, is where man and woman got together, appropriated, and created life. And we had to do everything we could to destroy that, so that we could slow down the number of births. That's right. And because for some people they say, oh, it's just too personal. Yep. Can't talk about this topic. It might be too personal. So I'll turn my head and I'll look the other way, and I'm still going to tell you I'm awake though, okay? Because I don't care about this problem, see, because it's too personal. So I'll leave the core of the apple in place. I'll leave the core of the orange, the core of NWO in place. I can just chew away the outer edges and we'll be just fine, okay? Yeah, if I can defeat this quarter and that quarter, maybe the other quarter, as long as I don't get near the core. I wouldn't want to destroy the entire agenda because it gets too personal for me, you know. Okay, now I'm through being sarcastic. But that is the reality of what the ones over in the truther community that don't touch the dating scene topics, they will all tell you we're full of shit. And then when you nail them with truth they can't get around, they will tell you because it's too personal. That's right. And the real truth is because they're not awake. They paid selective truth, remember? They went through the truth buffet line, man. They selected out what truth they want to believe, and even though the other stuff was all just as concrete proof as the stuff they selected, they disregarded that because that was too personal, you know. Okay, now, that's the reason I put this in your face. And the false flags, yeah. The no-death false flags, what he calls the hoax flag. What Mark Passio just talked about. Yeah, Elliot Rodgers. That's right. The Hollywood actor. Nobody died. And you fooled lots of dumb people. You fooled them hook, line, and sinker. And they believed the lie. They believe in that lie. It's like the military. Yes, they believe the lie. Hook, line, and sinker, fish on a line. Your military believes the lie. And they're brainwashed in boot camp to be the perfect little patsies, the perfect sucker, and that great order follower. That's right. And of course, like anything else, once they're through being used, don't know they're being used, then they'll be disregarded by the people you used them. That's right. We don't have use for you no more. You're no good. We're disregarding you now. We're doing like the female does. We're throwing you away. Yeah. We're doing like the female commonly does to a man. When they're through using them, they throw them away. We condone the behavior. We sure do. Because after all, females can do no wrong. You got to cover them up for everything they do. You cover it up. Ain't that right, guys? Doesn't matter how wrong it is. It's not wrong because she can never be wrong because she's a goddess, you know. She don't make mistakes because she's a goddess. She can never be wrong. But you're just a peasant. You're just a guy. You're always wrong. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. You've never done anything constructive for society ever. No, because you're just a guy. You know that she don't need you to have kids. She's a goddess. You know the kids are all hers. You know if it wasn't for her, you wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for her, none of you'd be here. Now let's get to reality instead of the mirage, the illusion. No, none of you'd be here if it wasn't for her. You wouldn't be here at all, right? No. The truth is, she don't have a kid without somebody fertilizing that egg. And in nature, in natural law, in naturality, without no Dr. Frankenstein interventions, the woman cannot have a child without the man. So when you hear the woman say, wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here. Wrong! You wouldn't have created a life to be here if it wasn't for the him. This is all deliberately done to create division. Every last bit of it. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. To change your perceptions and your beliefs is to brainwash you. To make it so that a woman would say, well, all she done, okay, and have no second thoughts or no remorse or no guilt over screwing a guy over like that, taking 40 years of his whole life and working his butt off to get that female a nice home and everything, and then she just throws him away like a piece of garbage and uses the court system to steal everything from him that he ever worked for, including his children. Completely destroy his life. And then I don't see what's wrong with doing that to somebody. It's perfectly normal behavior. And I suppose it was perfectly normal behavior when he lost his mind and you and your kids and himself are all dead now. Because this has happened several times already. Where the guy lost his mind and he offed her and he offed the kids and he offed himself. And I'm not condoning the violence, but when you want to create your very own killer, that's a damn good way to do it. You just go ahead and steal 40 years worth of everything away from this man and leave him homeless and broke so you can selfishness and power trip can flourish. You may be having some lead flourish inside your head as you're dropping and bleeding out. And I don't wish that upon you. I wish it upon you to use your damn brains and to start treating humans as human beings. Okay, but you're not going to do that, are you? No. And for the so-called truthers over there, you better understand something. The core of everything you've been fighting starts in the dating arena. And if the core is too damn personal for you, you can never defeat the NWO ever. Of course the core is the dating scene even when you think it ain't. Yes, it is. Because the dating scene is where life starts. And this they are ultimately trying to completely control. Is when life starts and who life starts for and how much life we can withstand, according to their lies, their programming. And so, yeah, the heart of NWO starts in the dating scene. Sure does. Why do you think they've programmed people so well over all these years to keep placing the female above the male? Why do you think so many males won't hold a woman accountable? Because you've given women way, way too much power. And then we've programmed people so bad that they've gotten everything's out of order, okay? Everything. And the dating scene is completely upside down, twisted upside down on its head. Completely out of order. And nobody knows what they're doing, and I've said this for years. They don't know what they're doing. And relationships have been based on looks and materialism and stats. Looks, materialism, and stats. Yeah, materialism, money. Your belongings. Looks, something nobody keeps. And we've created a society where everything starts with the looks, and success for a man is being that model type Chad, okay, and having lots of monetary gain, yep, and having lots of cheap friends. That's success for a man, okay, not honesty. And for that man to achieve success, he first has to have good looks, or he won't be accepted into lots of things in life because he's first got good looks, even though he's not going to keep his looks. No more than the female's going to keep her looks. But none of you want to think about that. You want to say, I don't live in the future, I live in the now. You go ahead and live in the now, because it's your future that you're not going to have. You think, oh yeah, I am. No, you're not. You're destroying your own future, and you're destroying your children's future. You're destroying your society, and you're too stupid to see it. When Mark Passy or David Icke tells you we don't got a lot of time left, they're not lying to you. They're correct. And all you're doing is destroying your own future. You're destroying your children's future and your grandchildren's future. They have no future thanks to your ignorance. Thanks to your ability to follow orders and not use your brain. Anyhow, just remember what I've said here. The core of NWO is the dating scene. The dating scene is where life starts, and they can't have that. They have to ultimately control that. The Georgia Guidestones even tells you that. It is in your face and has been in your face the entire time. But you guys want to come up here and speak out, and you want to avoid the core. So all you so-called truthers, you keep avoiding the core. Okay, because it's too personal for you. And watch yourself lose, because that's what you're doing. You're on the losing end because you don't understand what's really going on, and you went through the truth buffet line and selected out what truth you wanted and disregarded the rest. And when it came to the dating scene, that was definitely too personal for you. You know that you ain't got to defeat that to stop any of the corruption, right? No, you might just want to leave all the corruption in place when you're not willing to face that. Because that is the core, the heart of NWO. Is the dating scene, the genders. Because that is where life starts at. And with that being said, I'm on out of here, and you have a good one.